What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Josh Statics, and today we're here to have a conversation about Mixtape. Mixtape is a game that dropped last week. It's been garnering a lot of conversations, positive conversations, negative conversations, and we're going to get all up in that because there's so much to talk about. I have a friend with me today who goes by Captain Lauren. Um, we we've known each other since like the TikTok days. We've been talking about like The Last of Us and everything. And before we continue, I want to put this out for the jump. We play a lot of video games out here, though. Captain Lauren plays video games out there, and I want to say this from the jump for the jump, in case people want to assume that we were paid or we just say things or whatever. So we just want to get it right from the jump. But Captain Lauren, before I introduce yourself, like, do you mind telling the people that's listening in, like, who you are, what you do, and what's your passion for creating content?
Just for the love of the game, man. But yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Captain Lauren, I started creating content like years ago just because I've been playing games my whole damn life. And, a couple of my buddies were just like, you always be talking about games, you're so knowledgeable. Like, why don't you just start creating content and see if people like what you got to say? And I'm like,
yeah,
all right. And started doing it, realized I loved it because I started talking to other people because, like, I was like, oh my God, some people are having different perspectives about games that I love, or they want to talk about the same things. And I'm like, shit, this is awesome.
Right.
And, that's the fun of it for me, just talking to people.
And that's same here. Like, I love talking about games, conversations, different viewpoints, same things like, I love listening to people's perspectives and what draws them into games, because if whatever draws you into video games, if it's something of your passion and if it draws you in, and it's like, maybe you'll draw me in. There's some games that I may not play, but if you're passionate about it and you speak in a way that like sparks something in me, I'm like, I'll give it a try. I will never. That's the thing about me. I will never not say no or judge a game based on how it looks or based on what people say. It's like, I want to see what it's about, which is why we're here talking about Mixtape.
Seriously, I mean, that is like my biggest pet peeve, just like in anything. Like, why are you judging it just based on like, like what one human being thinks, or like whatever, or like, based on this or that? Like, you don't know until you play it. You know your likes and dislikes, like, and that's why. Oh my God, review culture.
I'll be honest with me. I want to be clear. I would have never played this game had it not been the negative discourse. I would have not been known. No, and I'm just being. If I had not,
you and a lot of other people, though, for real.
Yeah,
like,
because I look at a trailer and I'm like, oh, it's one of them kind of games, and I just go back to play what I was before. And the reason I got into it because I heard rumblings on, and we're gonna get into like the good and the bad right now. We're gonna get straight to it. But like, I was at home one day, and I'm scrolling through my TikTok, and then they're saying Mixtape is getting negative reviews or is getting review bombed online. And I'm like, why? What's going on? And it says because this guy, Simon Carty, who reviewed the game, gave it a 10 out of 10. People are upset because this game got ranked higher. And games like Crimson Desert got ranked as 6, and Pragmatic got ranked in 8. And people are saying that they're authentic, they're being paid. They're saying all these rumblings. And I'm sitting there watching this guy explain to me, and I'm just like, are we dead ass? Like, real? That's like my first reaction. I'm like, what? And then I saw another friend, Gunto. He made videos about it, reporting it too, and he plays games. He's like, yeah, this game it's a vibe game. It's a lot more. It's like, it's games you should try for yourself. I'm listening to his points and everything, and I'm like, what are we doing here? And then that's what got my interest. That's what literally got me. A game like that I would have never played it, but controversy or negativity is the reason why I'm here.
Seriously, and like, it's so funny because people regurgitate like the same shit yearly. Like, people said that it was paid reviews about like The Last of Us 2 when it got a 10. And it's
my God, yeah.
It's like, okay, so is everyone just paying for these reviews? Because wouldn't we have a lot more 10s out there? IGN has less than 100 10s. Wouldn't we have a lot more? And if you really want to go that far, I mean, IGN has rated Ocarina of Time, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, all 10s. Are they being paid by Nintendo? Probably not, okay? Like, who gives a fuck? Like, Rockstar, GTA 4, 5, and Red Dead 2, and I think Undead Nightmare all got 10s. Are they being paid by Rockstar? No! Stop it. Stop. Like,
and I think what gets me a lot of times when these conversations happens about IGN, like, people blame. And the thing is, and that's the funny thing too. I I watch IGN for news and information about games and trailers.
Mhm.
When it comes to like reviews or whatever, I don't personally take their reviews on things seriously because it doesn't affect my overall enjoyment of a video game. Like I remember one time, like Resident Evil 2 remake when it first dropped, it had I think initially it had an 8.8 rating out of 10,
Mhm.
and the guy who reviewed it, he didn't even play the second act of it. He wasn't even aware that there was a second act into it. And because I think he was comparing it to like the originals because they had like an A and B system, whatever, and people
Mhm.
called him out on it, and then they did a re-review and then they gave it a 9 off that. And it's like, okay, that's cool. You know, people
Right.
get playing, there's like things of one guy and the thing I'm trying to get at, like we always blame, it makes sense, blame the company. So if you see a review score, you associate it with the company, it makes a lot of sense to blame it that way. But what a lot of people
Right.
don't do is, I get it. You don't want to read a review. You don't want to read a 4,000 page script about something. Like it's too much.
They
It's
just
too,
look at that
yeah.
number.
I mean,
Number.
4,000 letter, not page, 4,000 letter thing. You're like, you don't. They just want to. It's easier to just go for the number and see what the pros and cons were. Um,
Mhm.
but we do this, and people don't even know who was the person that played that reviewed it. What other games have they reviewed before? Like I went to go look at Simon Cardy's page, his page on IGN. Like I saw that he reviewed Astrobot, God of War Ragnarok. He reviewed the Last of Us
Which
TV
also
series.
got a 10.
Yeah, he did the Last of Us TV series, Star Wars, for sure. He even gave like the Suicide Squad Killer Justice League a 5 out of 10, and he reviewed FIFA games. He reviewed Call of Duty. Like this guy's a gamer to my books. Like he plays a lot of things, and he's a senior editor at IGN. Like you can literally Google and search these things up.
Mm.
When I read his review, I can't remember everything he said, but one thing he did that did stood out. He said that when it came to Mixtape, that Mixtape is he's a sucker for coming of age stories because it allows him to like relive a time or see himself through other characters. However he put it in his review, that's his thing. Like he loves coming of age story. Not once,
Right.
not once when I listened to the review or read it, he didn't compare this game to any other thing. He just judged the game based off his own merits and the themes of itself, and just went from that. And he gave it a 10 based on how the game made him feel impactful. And he's been very critical of other games.
But and that's what I feel like people do not get in like, the content creation space, the review space, like the professional space of it all, is that every single review, no matter what company they work for, if they're independent, it is all subjective.
Yeah.
So, if Simon rated this a 10 and then Matt or Bonnie at IGN, they could rate it a 2 and then a 6.
Yeah.
You don't know because it goes on personal bias, and that goes for like, movies and TV shows too. People are taking their own feelings into account. Like, you could rate Resident Evil 2, like you mentioned earlier. You could rate it a 10. I could rate it a 7.
Yeah.
And that's just how we feel about it. But people take it so objectively.
Yeah.
And it's like that's not how that works, like ever.
And I think that word like objective has been used and blown out of proportion so much that it seems like people want to like seek objectivity in everything. And sometimes, like, I think you can try to be as non-biased as possible, but I do think without some level of subjectivity, you lose the kind of human element of how things can resonate with you on a impression, artistic, entertain, all those things. And it's like you have to have a little bit of some bias or some subjectivity. It just can't come at the
Right.
cost, as something else though. And people got their standards of what they think a game should be and what they look for and value. What you may value as a 10 may not be what I value as a 10, and it's okay. It's okay that we don't have the same opinions.
It's okay. It's okay, people. It's
Yeah.
okay. Like,
Yeah.
and it's so funny. Like, people are comparing Mixtape to all the other 10s. Like, Elden Ring, Ocarina of Time, Last of Us 2. They just gave Forza a fucking 10. And it's like,
did.
Tell me what is wrong here. Oh, wait, I'll tell you. It's because they're all different genres of games.
Yeah.
like, people are like, you're really going to compare Mixtape to Elden Ring? No, we're not doing that because that's not what they did.
Nope.
The person rated it based on how they felt about it,
Mhm.
and that's how it fucking goes. Like me, okay, just preface this, I've not fucking played Forza. Would I probably rate Forza a 10? Probably not, because I'm not really a big racing fan. But that's my bias.
Right.
That's my bias. So that's what people don't like understand. I think The Last of Us 2 is a masterpiece. But, you know, somebody else could be like, that's the biggest piece of shit ever. And I'll be like, well, you know, that's differences of opinion.
Yeah.
Subjectivity. Like,
right.
People are so ridiculous.
Like, I'd rather have the right person to review something than the wrong person to review something and just half-ass it. You know, like that's something
Right.
that I don't want. It's like I'm not into visual novels and such though, and it's like I don't hate them or anything. I don't find the appeal, I guess, in it. But at the same time, I haven't been exposed to many just yet too. And it's like, would you want me to play something, review it, and then give a cynical outlook or possibility ruin something that could be meant for somebody else? And it's like you don't want me there. He's like, you probably want me something where I can, something where it may closely align to what you value, but I'm not gonna align to your bias, but I'm gonna align to what you need to know so that you can make an informed decision. Hey, should I give this product a try or whatnot? I think that's what it should be. You know,
it should. Like, you know, you want people rating games like for. Like for content creators, like you're following them because like they typically talk about a certain type of demographic of games. Like, you know, for me, I talk about like, you know, like story games, and like, so I'm not going to be out here like, you know, rating like first person shooters and like massive multiplayer onlines, because that's not something I gravitate towards.
Yeah.
So, and why would you take my opinion over like somebody who has like way more followers that does do those things? They're going to be more critical of the review. They're going to be looking at the things that you're looking for.
Yeah.
Versus like, you know, somebody who doesn't play something like Life is Strange. They're gonna be like, this is a stupid walking sim, and I'll be like, hold on, let me give you a 30-minute TED talk about why it's not that. Like, you know, like it's just like, it's so different, and that, like you said, like we all look at things differently, and that's okay.
Right.
It's okay, people. We don't need to freak out.
I think the crazy thing about this game is that people are not like in terms of like the negative comments, like people are not talking about the game. I mean, they kind of are, but they're kind of aren't. They kind of, like we said earlier, regurgitating.
More people are talking about it that haven't even played it.
Exactly. Like,
I literally saw a comment on your video, like the last one that you posted, and he was like, how much did like they pay you for this? And I was like, who are you talking to, brother? Like, what do you mean? Like, you know, people are saying like, you know, the person who owns Annapurna or whatever works for Annapurna, I don't know their name, whatever. The billionaire, right?
Larry Ellison, or the daughter Megan Ellison, who makes the. I'm finding out about this though, but yeah.
Yeah, but like, you know, it's like, be so fucking for real right now. Do you think that they're pouring like, I mean, is there millions of dollars being poured into marketing campaigns, not only with like ads, game journalists, and content creators in any type of game? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But are they paying every single fucking person on the planet that is talking about this game? No. Yeah. And this is coming from a person that did get money from Annapurna for Mixtape. But people don't know how contracts work. People don't know how any of this fucking works.
Yeah.
You make one ad for them, and you talk about the game. You don't review it. You say, hey, this is a new game that's coming out. Let me tell you about it. Show a little bit of gameplay and be like, hey, you should check it out right now. Yeah. All they want is like content creators to just get the exposure of the game out there so more people can pre-order it. That's or buy it. That's all they fucking want. It's the same thing with like, you know, when I worked with Square Enix for Life is Strange. Like, it's like, hey, just tell people that this game is out right now. Yeah. And on these platforms, and tell them a little bit about the game.
Right.
And then your next video, when you review it, you could be like, hey, so this game is the biggest piece of shit that I ever played in my life. They're still gonna pay you. Like, it don't matter, but people think like, oh, because you made an ad that's how it works. And I'm like, you do not know how it works.
Yeah. If a video view goes up on a certain day at a specific time, and you see everybody pops up videos at the same time, that means they were under embargo. That means that they had to follow that stuff, and that means that that's just what it is. If you see it posted at a specific time, embargo slip, and that means that everyone got the green light to go talk about it though. That means we was all told we was all following it.
Right. But then, like, you know, some people don't even realize that, like, that stuff, not all that stuff is being paid either. Because, like, you know, companies give out review copies. Like, you know, I'm part of creative programs too. And, like, they'll be like, hey, okay, we'll give you, like, you know, the premium edition or the regular edition of this game. Just make one video talking about it and tag us. Yeah. And you have to make it, like, at this time. And usually it'll be like, hey, just say, like, thank you, Capcom, or whatever the fuck, for this video. For, like, you know, giving me the review code. And people will be like, oh, I'm not listening, it's paid. And it's like, you know that legally you have to put the paid promotion at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Like, so if it doesn't say that, then we are not paid.
Yeah.
We are not paid.
If we didn't disclose it was sponsored or put paid or add into it though, it's like, yeah, it's like it's just our thoughts, and it's we have to disclose that fact though. And at the same time, we're not getting paid undouble paid for that.
Right, people are like, well, you're thanking the company, and I'm like, yeah, well, because they gave me something for free, so that's how you have to do it.
Right.
Don't you just say thank you in general?
Yeah.
Thank
you for X and Y company for sponsoring this, and
yeah.
you said earlier, this game was made for people that was remind them of a time, or just put them in a time to just dive into. I work a regular job, like 4 hours every day. I came home and played this stuff, and I'm like, I'm relaxed, I'm enjoying it, and I'm consuming for what it is, and that's just what it is. And not to go too much, 'cause I know I ran a little bit. There are people like me or you who aren't that invested into the internet all damn day, and they just want to play something to just escape them from the problems, and just want to just be something that they aren't, or immerse something and just make them feel something. Is that guilty of a crime? I want to ask. I don't think so.
No, I mean, like, me personally, I gravitate towards games like, that have really good stories, or that can make me feel something. If you can convey an emotion across the screen to me about something that's not even fucking real, I think it's good.
Yeah.
And like, every time people like suggest games to me, I'm like, does it have a good story? Because like, if it's loose, and people ask me like, was I gonna play Crimson Desert, which I haven't touched it. The gameplay looked lit and the open world looked awesome, but from what I was reading, which I want to put this out there, that like people that tell me things, they don't influence my decision. But like, from what I was reading, like, the story's very loose and it wasn't as strong. And I was like, that's a wait for a sale for me. Because, even though I'm there for the gameplay, I still want to like, I want to be thinking about a story that I played from 10 years ago. Like, we're still thinking about Mass Effect. We're still thinking about like, all these things, because it was so impactful.
Right.
And that's how I feel. Like, but like, to what you were saying, like, about like, it's for like certain type of people. Like, there's people out there that like will like, play Life is Strange, like, like grown ass men, and be like, this game is cringy, it's rough. And I'm like, well, do you actually play these types of games? No?
Right.
That's probably, you probably don't like it. But hey, if you're a fan of visual novels, you like deep stories, and you don't really care about gameplay, it's totally for you, man.
Yeah.
But like, a lot of these types of games too, I mean, not Mixtape, but I mean, like, you grow up with it, so it doesn't feel cringy. And I feel like people are losing sight of the shit with Mixtape, because I've been seeing so many people being like, have you seen the dialogue? It's so cringy. And I'm like, think back to what you posted on MySpace. Why don't you think about when you started Facebook and you'd be posting statuses, go look at that cringy ass shit. Think about what you said when you were a teenager. And if you're going to tell me that none of the catchphrases or anything that you said was cringy, you're a fucking liar.
Yeah.
Like, think about being a teenager. People, like, come on.
And it's like this thing is like, people, it's one of those things I say, man, don't try to lose your touch with your inner child. Like, I think the inner child is that thing that always brings you back to curiosity, optimism a little bit, wanting to try things for the first time. Like, I know you're big into Life is Strange. I have Life is Strange. I have yet to play it. I will say that,
no,
I know, but like,
No.
but I know that when I think about those games, I think about like high school, and I'm gonna play like devil's advocate for a little bit. I think like those maybe for some people, maybe because this game could be off-putting, or games like that could be off-putting for some people, can be a thing where it's like people don't want to confront, I guess, vulnerabilities of things that they felt when they were in high school, like the bad memories of whatnot, or what.
That's so real. Holy shit.
Yeah.
See, different perspectives, what we were saying earlier. I'd never even thought about that, because, like, you're thinking about bad shit that happened when you were younger, so you don't want to be transported back to that time. Holy shit.
Because, like, that's one of the thoughts I had, because, like, I have good and some bad stuff, but then when I think about, like, high school, it kind of goes back to, like, social media. Like, a lot of people... There was a lot of people I was friends with. I was doing stuff in the MySpace days. I was the guy who had like a lot of friends on Facebook at one point in time, like 10, golly, 18, like 20, close to 20 something years ago. I remember having a lot of those people and staying up to date and finding friends and people liking stuff and whatnot. And then like
you're coding your page, you're putting a song, you're on AIM, you know.
And I think maybe I'm speaking of something that may resonate a little bit, but it's like, and this is why this game was kind of magical, because like when we're definitely getting into it, but like as I'm playing it, And wait, as I'm thinking back, like time went on, first year out of graduations and whatnot, scary, because like people are growing up so fast, and you are like growing up as well, and everybody's moving on, and you see people just change radically, like in ways
Hmm.
that are that they're unrecognizable. You got people and you got people that you play football with are now drug addicts or junkies or like drugs, and
It's a
some people,
different life
yeah,
entirely.
people are like, I know, like, or like dead, murdered. People are
Hmm.
going to like having kids now. People found different forms of religions, different people. Some of the friends also deleted their social media accounts and whatnot because they woken up one day and realized I don't need this shit. Some friends abandon you. I've been the friend I've been abandoned before, and it was kind of resonate
Me
me
too.
with like Stacy and Cassandra. I'm gonna get into all that later, but it's like I can see why certain games like that are very high school based, or like this game Mixtape, it probably don't want to reopen some kind of wounds that they want to forget about. And I can see why. I can kind of see why some people may be hesitant to give it a try or whatnot. Especially if you're someone that's recently graduated from high school or whatnot. You probably I can kind of see that or whatnot though. But so I'm
Right.
assuming that's probably what it is, and why people are so not. I'm not saying one of the main reasons, but I can probably see why people may be dismissive and not wanting to give it a try or something like that.
Or I mean, like you said, like maybe people aren't in touch with like like their inner child. Like
Yeah,
I really look at things with like stars in my eyes. Like when it brings me back to like a, oh my god, like I remember playing this when I was a kid, and it just
yeah,
makes me feel good. It makes me feel nostalgic. Like so millennial of me to say, but like give me more games that are set in the '90s. Like like it's
yeah,
because I'll like pick up something like like a Tamagotchi, and I'm like, oh my god, like
yeah,
like it's just those little things that just like really kind of push it past to make me feel good.
yeah,
And I guess I understand that like maybe some people aren't into that, but I mean, at the end of the day, mixtape is just about like a fucking human experience, like you say, like like friends that leave you, you move on, and like all of these things, and like they're real human experiences, and that's why
yeah,
I like it.
yeah,
When like Cassandra and like Stacy
yeah.
were like arguing, like she brought Jenny fucking good speed,
Hmm.
fuck her, but like,
She's
and
funny.
then like, yeah, it was so funny, but like when she said that like she couldn't like hang out the one night, and then like she found out that Cassandra was like with Jenny,
Yeah,
and then like you play that segment of like black and white, and she's listening to the song, and I'm like, I felt this, like how you just, somebody who's so close to you, and you say that like they had that whole segment of like how Cassandra like makes her feel like just great, like she's just a great person, and then you just found out somebody betrayed you, you lied to you, like why don't you want to hang out with me, why did you lie to me, why do you want to hang out with her instead, and it hurts, it's a real human
yeah,
thing, and I'm like, damn, it just makes you feel black and white, like you just don't matter.
yeah.
Yeah.
Those things I felt it through Stacy and the whole Cassandra. I felt it. I known it. I've also was that one person who left my friends to go to Maine with my parents' job, with my dad's job, relocated us from Arlington, Texas, to go to Maine. My dad worked for
Mm-hmm.
like National Semiconductor, got bought by Texas Instrument,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a chance at the high school. Like I graduated in 2010 in high school, and it was like June 5th. I had a chance to either I go with my parents to a state I'd never been in before. I don't know the people or anything. Mind you, there was hardly any black folks there outside of Somalians. That matter. Or do I stay here in Texas and life gets real hard, and I possibly can have a really bad life with people I thought they was gonna have my back that probably wouldn't even have my back like that. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna go where my family is at, and
Right.
people looked at me differently, felt that I abandoned or whatever, or we just realized that we was only friends by proximity in school. We wasn't really close
Right.
like that, and that shit gets really real.
And it sucks, and I think that's why I like gravitate more towards games like Mixtape and like Life is Strange, or even like The Last of Us, or just like whatever, because like when games like convey like like a relatable human experience, it's like I feel that much closer to it, I'm connected to it, so like you just feel some type of way about it. And I mean, like, did Mixtape make me cry? No, but like I just thought it was so beautiful, like the way that like they just portrayed all of these realistic things that happen, like the friendship thing that like you said, and it's just, or like the realistic thing of like how music makes you feel, like that. It's just a nice expression of a game.
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
It was
Why are we hating it?
it was so I think what's so good about it, it's like I think we all been versions of these characters before. Like the part when when Stacy was going off at Cassandra and Cassandra was letting Stacy have him, saying that she said, I think it was something, I can't remember exactly what she said. And when she said, "So you're replacing me with Jenny fucking Goodspeed?" And he's like, "Yeah, because you're going to New York, but I have to go there and whatnot." And it's like, "Yeah, but you make this is always about about you. I wanted to go to a road trip with you and everything. This means so much for me too, and all of that." And I was like,
she feels like she's being left behind, like she doesn't matter.
I was like, is it because of her home, the upbringing with her, strict parents and all that? And I was like, I had to pause the game when that happened because I did tear a little bit. It was more like a different, like, dang. I was like, whew. I was like, there's so much real emotion here. I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I was like, wait a minute. I'm not supposed to feel these things again. I was like, why are you tapping into, and it's like, I was seeing my past life through these characters in a way, or like past experiences that like reopened some older wounds in a way that I thought I just moved on about. And it just like brought it out to the forefront through them. And I really liked the way it was handled in it. Some people felt that there really wasn't a lot of development with the characters. There really wasn't a lot of like hardships and whatnot. And I guess they were comparing it to like other coming of age stories where things were a bit darker and whatnot. And it was like, I don't think a coming of age.
But that's the difference. Like, no, I mean, like, that's the difference. Like, people try to compare it when it's not meant to be compared to anything. It's supposed to be its own unique experience. It could be like, I get it that you want to compare it to like other coming of age stories, but like this isn't a story that is going to be groundbreaking, that it is like crazy. The whole thing about this story is like giving you relatable experiences of just like, it's just showing you a snippet of these 3 lives and just like how it's going to be changed right after this night.
Right.
How literally this last day is like so memorable for them, how it is just like there's so many things to touch on. I mean, whether their relationship or even the memories that they have, and like everything that they're going through as individuals, and just how music like it also like affects that. But I feel like that's what people are like trying to chalk it up to. Like you're not supposed to compare any of this shit, like it's the same thing like how people want to compare like, I don't know, like Tomb Raider and Uncharted or whatever. Like, just let it be. It's supposed to be its own damn thing, you know? Like, it's not, it's just let it be its thing.
Right.
It's silly.
It's just, and that's why I think like people were trying to move the goalposts. Like, that's when you kind of tell like nobody was really like engaging with the game at all. They're just like projecting. Like, I had one person who got mad at me. Well, not really mad. He left a comment. He says, like, I did not enjoy Mixtape. I am okay with visual novels and walking simulators. I'm like, I don't know why they call the game a visual novel. Okay. And they like, it's projection.
Visual novels don't even have like animations really. Like it's all just like, like little 2D things usually. And it's just like a picture by picture thing with little text bubbles most of the time.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah. And he goes, some of my favorite games are those, but I really hated the writing. It felt so fake and sanitized and empty. It was probably the worst coming of age story I have ever experienced. There was no awkwardness or conflict or confusion or crisis or development. Like, even John Green novels or John Hughes movies understand you need to feel real darkness and angst in order to facilitate the coming of age fantasy. Without it, without that, it isn't really anything, in my opinion. It felt so, I don't know, out of touch. This is such a chat GPT ass thing. I don't know, out of touch, and ignore all the growth in self-discovery and meaning building that makes this a genre meaning in the first place. They was cooking
it's such a self-righteous comment too.
Yeah, they was like, cooking his ass in the comment section. Like it says, he said, one dude, Sean, says, there was no awkwardness. One of the first scenes is the main character extremely awkward and uncomfortable first kiss, which was awkward. I'm not gonna lie, but I think, we
didn't need it. We didn't need it in there.
We didn't need it, but I understood the intent. I understood the intent. It was like, oh, y'all really went in for this mini, but yeah.
But like no awkwardness, like literally a lot of the plot points are Stacy and Cassandra like wanting to talk, and like both of them having this underlying issue because Cassandra doesn't want Stacy to leave. Stacy doesn't want to leave, but she has to pursue her fucking dreams.
Yeah.
And there's this inner conflict of them feeling so awkward that they don't want to actually fucking talk about it.
Yeah.
Like what? Because like what? You're not like a nerdy kid. You're just like, hey, Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it's not everyone is the fucking same. I was not. I'm an anxious person, but I was not awkward in school. I am how I am right now. I am a march to the beat of my own drum kind of person. I'm outgoing. I'm expressive. I'll tell people how I feel. I don't even care if I know them or not.
Right.
Like, I'll walk up to a table. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I can do that. But not. I know that not everyone's like that. And to say that like that's just this one small issue with his fucking comment. Like, oh, it's not awkward. It's not weird. It's like not everyone has your experience, my guy.
Right.
Like,
And then like one dude said, yeah, and then this dude says that was about as relevant to emotional core of this game as a Family Guy cutaway. What? That's what.
That's funny.
Then one dude said, "Holy shit, this comment is not real." Then one dude said, "No crisis in development. The main character explicitly has a moment where she breaks down over her super planned out day isn't going the way she wants." Yeah, that definitely happened when the dad came home and said, "You ain't going there." She was pissed. Like, fuck, I had it mapped out. I've been that person who had everything mapped out. It's like, fuck, I hate when things don't go right. You know, it sucks. I've been there before. I've been that person.
Seriously, no. I mean, like, and that's what happens when you're a teenager. Like, you like build things up so much in your head, and then like it doesn't turn out the way that you want it to, and that's just what it is.
So, like, the point back to Cassandra is like, I understood how she was felt like this enormous pressure, you know, like to be something more, and it's like, like.
But you feel like that when you're a teenager, especially like you know, transition time of like teenager to young adult. Or even as a child. Sometimes even people feel it as young adults. I mean, because like you just feel expectations from your parents, from your friends, from society, from the world at large. I mean, like, you know, you say you're still figuring it out. I'm still fucking figuring it out too. Yeah. Like, you know, we're all figuring it out. Like, you know, they say by like, you know, by a certain age, you know, you're supposed to be married. You're supposed to buy a house. You're supposed to have the kids. You're supposed to have like, you know, this 6-figure job and like all this and that. And then if you don't, well, then you fucking failed at life. And I'm like, so I failed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have none of those things.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, but that is what like society and like what so many people just like instill upon you. And it's like, it's hard to like break out of that where you get into this mindset and you're like, maybe it's okay to like do something that I want to do. Yeah. Maybe I don't have to, like, maybe I could just sit here with my free time. Maybe I could go do this. Maybe I could go do that. And it's going to be okay. Yeah. And it's hard to break out of that and like be okay with it. Like, it's hard. Like, God. And like that's why I like admired Stacy so much, because like she like was like, I really have to go to New York. I don't want to leave you guys, but like this is my passion. Like I want to do this. And I'm like, you do it, babe. You do it. You're passionate about it. You go do it. Yeah. But this sucks. Like, you know? And that's why the end like scene is like so sad and like bittersweet, because it's like you have to actually let go of Slater's hand. Because it's like, and then he's like, I'll see you tomorrow. And I'm like, we're not going to see him tomorrow. Like, you know, because it's like you literally have to let go of it. Yeah. You have to let go of that life. You have to go. Mm-hmm. And it's like, fuck, that's so real.
Yeah.
Like,
and this crazy part is, it's going to piss people off. This game is going to be nominated at the Game Awards. I don't know if
it'll be nominated Game of the Year, but I think it'll be nominated for something.
Probably like best narrative or something, or something direction. Yeah. It could be. It could. You know, art style. Art would definitely be one of those things. Indie, independent. Or, you know,
best music.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I would love for it to be nominated for Game of the Year, but I would say it would be nominated if it was coming out in a dead year, and like 2025 is a banger year, 2026 is a banger year. Yeah. We got a lot of titans that are coming out already this year and more to come. Yeah. I mean, Game of the Year, they gonna be scrapping it out for those nominees. I'm gonna tell you what. I mean, just even Capcom alone, you know, a lot of people are talking about Pragmata and Resident Evil being nominated. I'm like, I think one of them will. I don't know if both of them will, because there's a lot of shit going on. I mean, even outside of GTA, you know, the big elephant in the room of GTA 6. But I mean, like, you know, you got other shit coming out. 007 is coming out next week. I mean, I think that could be a front runner, and that's, you know, me being huge bias. I'm a big 007 fan, but you know,
I just pre-ordered that. I just pre-ordered that. It's just yesterday. I just pre-ordered it. I'm gonna play 007.
I watched all the movies growing up with my dad, and I have a big nostalgia there. And I played the PS2 games. I got them right back there. You know, Nightfire, Agent Under Fire, GoldenEye, all that shit. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, you know, big games are like, you know, coming out this year. I mean, like, Fable could be nominated. I know there's like a lot of other fucking games that are coming out that I can't think. Yeah. There's too many games, but
way too.
I mean,
yeah.
And this one is too niche, I feel, to be recognized in that type of way. Let's say that.
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, I was pissed when Split Fiction didn't get fucking nominated last year. I was pissed.
Bro, like, I think I don't know, it was last year or the year before. Like Balatro was a damn card. Like it was a spades game. Got nominated for a game of the year and whatnot. And I was like, what the hell is this? I looked it up. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I see it. It's like I like finding obscure games. It helps me be more informed about some stuff though. Like
right. And like my thing is like that's another thing. Even in addition to IGN reviews that people take too seriously, people take the Game Awards too seriously.
They do.
Now, when I say I was pissed that Split Fiction wasn't nominated, I'm not out here screaming from the rooftops about it. I'm just like, to me, that was one of the best games this year. I think it should have deserved a thing. I don't think it should have won, but for me, I think that like when I play an amazing game that has came out that year, I want it to be recognized by the general public. It doesn't need to win. I just want it to get recognition.
Right.
And so when it was only nominated for like 2 categories, I was like, motherfuck.
Right.
Like, I was pissed. I was so pissed.
Yeah, like
but
I felt the same way about Donkey Kong Bonanza. I was like, I wish it got recognized as an action adventure game or something because like it was really well made as its quality. But they said best family game, and I'm like, but you only play, but the second player you play as you just point at a screen or moving a cursor. It was like I didn't like. There are some things about the Game Awards I don't like about the categories and whatnot. Like when they do like
and there needs to be more categories too, like more different ones.
Well, like those like best fighting game, and 2 of them are like collections or like remastered. I'm like, this is an ass. And then it's ass when they do like. When they do like the little side panel and you had like Sidney Goodman or so on, it's like this just ever gonna say that and the winner is this, and the crowd goes woo, and there's no presentation, nothing. It's just a flyby segment. That shit pisses me off though. But
right, I mean, like I want to touch on your Donkey Kong Bonanza thing. It's a perfect example of like different strokes for different folks.
Exactly.
Because I am not a big Nintendo person, and I get a lot of people that will comment on some of my videos. When I was making the Expedition 33 videos, I was getting hella people like just yelling at me, talking about how Breath of the Wild is like way better than this, and I was like, why are we comparing them? Like, and I was like, I don't know who paid you to be here. Like, I should have said that.
Right.
But like, and I still get that shit all the time, and people will be like, don't listen to her, she doesn't like Nintendo, and I'm like, I have never once said that in my life. Like, first of all, I'm a big Pokemon lady, okay? I've been here, Pokemon. I've been watching the OG Pokemon since the 90s, okay?
Looking at your background. Fraud! You are not. I see that. I see that red PlayStation right there. I see that. You're a fraud. Look at them PlayStation games in the back.
Dude, yeah, okay, I'm a PlayStation girly. But, like, I'm also an all consoles person or PC, whatever. But, like, but you think that Donkey Kong Bonanza was the greatest. Meanwhile, I'm like, is it that great? And that's because I'm not a Nintendo person. I'm not a platformer. B, I never got into it when I was younger, and I tried to as an adult, and I couldn't vibe with it. Like, I'm not a Mario person. I'm not a Donkey Kong. I'm not. The only thing I fucks with in Nintendo is Pokemon, for real. Like, but and that's a hot take. That's a hot take. But see, that's where bias comes in. Because if I start working for IGN, y'all want me to start. Yeah. But like, say I start being a game journalist, I start working for IGN. Y'all really want me to start rating the Nintendo games? Because you're going to cry. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? But then if you rate them, they're going to be different.
Right. Like, it's like, it's
different people. It's for different people.
Right.
And that's okay.
It is. Okay. And I think like this experience or whatever, like the thing is people are going to, when there's something out there that's different, people are going to resist. And it's sound like the Thanos quotes. No matter what, there will be people that's going to resist, and then people want to gatekeep. Like games need to be. It's like no, like because the thing is, we as the gaming community, we're saying that we want new experiences, we want new things. We cry that we want more originality. That we're tired of sequels, we're tired of remakes, we're tired of all these things. And then
when they give it to us,
when they give it to you, and you're like, this is not what it is. It's kind of like. You ever see that show, this cartoon show, it's called Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yeah.
There was a segment, I can't remember what it was, but Muriel was like turned into a kid. And Courage was making her mac and cheese. And he gives her mac and cheese. And every time he gives her like a bowl of mac and cheese, she complains. She goes, this stinks. I hate it this way. What's this? What's wrong with it? Less cheese. And then he goes in there and makes more. She goes, more macaroni. Then he goes back another bowl. Too much macaroni.
The cycle of insanity right there.
Yes. It's like, what do you want? It's like, I keep making,
perfect example. Like, I mean, seriously, like the people constantly preach all the fucking time. We don't want the same revenge stories. We don't want this. We don't want this. We want something different. Then when you get it, no, I want the old thing. And I can't wait to see what GTA 6 looks like because we have not seen the gameplay. What if they change the Rockstar model that they haven't changed in almost 20 years?
Yeah.
The gameplay has been virtually the same for since what? GTA 3, 4, Vice City,
Yeah.
Liberty City Stories, like all that. So if they change it, they change the model of everything. Are you going to cry wolf?
They probably would.
Like, you know what I
They
mean?
probably more than likely would.
Right, but then, you know, if they give it to us a copy and paste gameplay, but then, you know, just new world and new characters, which I'm fine with, you know, are you then going to be like, Rockstar's so boring? They do the same shit. I'm like, but you
Yeah.
love it.
But
You love it.
And then,
Like,
and then what's crazy is like today's gamers aren't yesterday's gamers. It's probably some new bar. I didn't make no shit up. That's just something I just said out of my head. But
got it on Post-it
yeah,
notes above
today's
the monitor.
gamers aren't yesterday's gamers. I'm gonna say today's gamers aren't
Hey, slogan.
yeah, today's gamers aren't yesterday's gamers.
Who
Because,
paid you to say that?
right, you know, but
Sponsored
it's crazy because people cherry pick a lot more now often though, because it's just like I know we're deviating a little bit, but like there's more Sony games coming out, like Intergalactic, someone looking forward to. But because of that game, it's like you don't want to play it because the main character is a bald woman, and therefore you're thinking you're being forced something by for the sake of like political correctness that you use the word woke in its place, and you don't like what it is. You don't like the fact that the main character is a woman. Or better yet, it's not that the main character is a woman. You don't find her conventionally attractive because she has a bald head. Even though this is an introduction into a game, we don't know much about Joy. We don't know much about the character or anything. All we do know now is that the actress that's playing her was the same actress that was playing Jade in that Mortal Kombat 2 movie. And she looks beautiful, by the way. But I'm going back to my point.
She's so hot.
Yeah.
Y'all
yeah.
blind.
Right. Right. And then they're going to say, oh.
Give me a chance.
but they're gonna call this woke because it's a black man talking to a lesbian, and now we're what I'm saying now it's a woke conversation.
We're just existing as people.
Look at this. It's the collaboration of the LGBT and the person of color. What the fuck?
The internet's ruined, like, you know. But like, no, I mean, it's so serious because like, I mean, even people are assuming that like she's gay because she has a bald head. I'm like, you ain't never met a woman with short hair? Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, that's so ridiculous. Like, you know, it. But I wanted to touch on your, you know, not paid slogan that you just said today,
right.
gamers. or not yesterday's gamers. Like, we had a conversation previously about yellow paint and how it's such a non-fucking issue.
Yeah.
And people still bitch about it.
Yeah.
And, like, it's so real that today's gamers that are growing up with what is coming out now are not, like, the same types of gamers like you and I that were growing up in, like, the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Because, like, games back then did not hold your hand as much as they hold your hand today. Now, like, you know, and I remember you said in the video, like, you know, games back then, they may not have had yellow paint, but, like, you know, they have the coins to show you, like, where to go. And, like, that is a real fucking thing. The games do always guide you in some kind of way, whether it's, like, you know, something subtle, like the wind in Ghost of Tsushima, or the coins, or whatever the fuck. But it's always been there. But, like, games back then, it was much harder, I would say, because, like, these games, like, they don't always give you the hints. They don't always, like, you know, tell you to toggle it on the easy mode. You know, looking at you, Resident Evil, if you die one time, you gotta put it on assisted. And I'm like, all right, I don't suck.
Right.
But, like, so many games nowadays want to hold your hand. And it's like, I learned from trial and error 500 times when I was a child. I was, you know, trying those tank controls on Tomb Raider and screaming. And, like, you know, over and over and over again. And now games are just like, it's okay. I'll do it for you.
Right.
I'll put you up there. It's all right.
Right.
And I'm like, but what happened to the 3 hours of struggle? Like, I struggled. You need to learn that.
Mm-hmm.
You need to learn that. You're not as hardened. And everyone's fucking soft. I'm going to say it right now.
they are, it's like they're soft and complain too much, though. A lot of people complain a lot and don't
everything's easier and we're complaining more. It doesn't make any
sense.
Like,
because, like, back then, we weren't afforded to have a lot of these games that we can have now. Like, people don't, like, even then, like, games were really really more expensive than they are right now, and your parents was, like, working minimum wage job, coming home with, like, $400 paychecks to pay for the roof and housing and everything, and a new
You
cartridge.
get that one game on Christmas,
Yeah,
and
you get that one game probably a year, or most of the time you're renting stuff or whatnot though. And then the games we had back then were short. I mean, we should be complaining that, hey, we should be paying $40 though, because these games could be beaten in like less than an hour or whatnot. And there really wasn't a lot of, well, some of them had replay value, but it's just like the contents within the games weren't as big and expansive to what we have right now. And then like, but at the same time, like our judgment of video games then wasn't as demanding as it is now. All we care about back then was that don't sell us no bullshit. And that's what happened with like years of like the video game market crash and everything else. Like people, you know, people recognize BS and we say we're not paying for BS though. We know this is some slop. You know, we demand better. If you can't give us better, we'll just stop playing. And that's what they did. And then here comes the great Nintendo and all these people. They put it right back in the right path. And now because game is bigger as a medium, it's like there are blockbuster levels now. Like we got AAA games, you got AA games, you have indie games out there, and everyone that's trying to create a game has a story or something they want to tell people. And I say that all the time, like, you know, a game should be made for everybody to play. Doesn't mean that anybody should just be playing, or replace the word how you want to say it. We are not supposed to like everything all the same. If we did, then what's the whole point? But then every company will be successful, and then there will be no need for competition, and there will be no need for people to even try. You know?
Right. I mean, like, again, we just like keep circling back to like, you know, like everything is not for you.
Yeah.
And like that's cool. Like, what was it? The year that that Overwatch won Game of the Year? Wasn't Uncharted 4 in there?
It was there.
Yeah.
Uncharted 4.
Yeah. See, that would have been my Game of the Year.
Me too.
Okay.
Best game I played.
Yeah, but you know what? It's because I don't like games like Overwatch. I've played 12 hours of my life in Overwatch. I think it's horrible. Like, but that's because it's not for me.
I'm an Overwatch
it's
hater.
Not for me.
I don't say I don't get to hate Overwatch as loudly, but yeah, I'm not a, you know.
Yeah, no, but see, and this is the difference between you and I. We don't like Overwatch. Do we go out there and then purposely consume content about Overwatch? No, because we don't give a fuck. We're going to sit there and consume content about shit that we like.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't get, like, with the people about Mixtape. And it's like, you realize, A, when you watch someone's video in entirety and then you comment on it, A, you're going to see more of that person on your For You page, even if you're not following them. B, the For You page takes into account the hashtags that were used and the content that it is. So now that you just commented on a Mixtape video, you're more likely going to now see more Mixtape videos. So if you hate this so much, why are you engaging with it? Because anytime I see so much game shit on my For You page, if it's about a game I don't like, swipe. It takes 5 seconds. That's it. If it's a creator I don't like, swipe. Or I'll just fucking block them. I mean, you and I use that block button hella.
I do it all the time.
Right. Like, you know, people be like, oh, she blocks people. And I was like, no, let me get that one thing straight, honey. First of all, it's my page. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
So, free will here. I only block people, like, people have said, like, oh, they, you know, she blocks people for disagreeing with her. And I'm like, go take a look at the content, because I don't. But if you're insulting or you're bullying someone or, like, you know, saying, like, slurs or, like, anything like that, you're being blocked. That's it.
But even then, if you can find someone annoying and block them, who gives a fuck?
Right.
I don't have to. You know, if I look at you, like, I mean, fuck you, block. It's just out there. I find you annoying. I don't like what you say. I think you're just. I don't. You know, the thing is, following somebody on the internet is free. It's free of charge. You say something to me like, "Hey, man, I don't like the way you say it. I was gonna follow, but I'm not." Hey, you don't have to see me ever again.
So sad.
Gone. All right. Like, it's free. It's free 99. You don't have to like. I'm sorry. Like, being a content creator. Listen, I said to my friend today. We are not customer service. Okay. Customer service is there to make you happy. I'm not here to make you happy. You follow me because you like what I have to say and you like the content that you're consuming. If you don't like the content you have to consume, then you're free to unfollow. We do it all the time.
Dude, literally, like, people. The fact that, like, people, like, puff out their chest so much, and, like, I know you've probably had it.
Yeah.
I get it a bunch all the time. Like, people DM me, like, and will DM me, like, paragraphs of, like, why they either hate me or why I'm basically a stupid bitch from a video that I just posted.
Yeah.
I'm like, you took time out of your life to do this. I don't know who hurt you. It wasn't me. But, like, please go get some, like, help.
I had someone look at my Instagram, and I don't even use Instagram, but someone looked at my Instagram and they called me a racial slur and all that because.
Shut up! Are you serious?
I'm serious. I posted them on my YouTube page, and this person, because it was all because I defended Ada Wong in Resident Evil 4. I defended the actress who played her, and I'm saying that it wasn't bad, and people were saying woke this and that, and you're part of the woke tribe, and of course you wouldn't understand because you are an N-word, and N-words like you always got. I'm like, and then I was just like, I screenshotted everything, and this person said, I don't care if you respond. This is one of my burner accounts, and I don't care, and I'm out. Deuces. And then I made up the video calling out fans. He came back with another different burner. I'm about sick of your ass. I'm tired of you. I'm like, what? What did I do? What did I do? I'm just being honest.
Get help,
and,
people. Like,
and it's like, and the thing is, I'm trying to be as non-biased, as fair as possible. I try to be as respectful need be. I do call out some stuff, but I try not to call it out with aggression. Back then I would call you a stupid bitch or a dumb motherfucker. I say like I say the most vile shit, but now I'm trying to be more nicer about it because you
gotta say it for algorithm friendly.
Yeah,
well,
that too. And it's like I don't want to be the aggressor guy. I know some creators that just known for being an aggressor or perceived to be as an aggressor, and it's like I don't want to be.
Right, their content is rage bait content.
Yeah, and sometimes they don't even try, and people just assume that you're just being that. I'm like, it's not the case.
The difference between like those type of creators and then like people like you and I, because you and I do like the same thing, which I get like comments like a decent amount of the time. People be like, why are you like entertaining the trolls? Why are you entertaining the haters? And I'm like, I do it with context. I'm not entertaining every single person that like calls me a dumbass, right? Like, because they're not worth my time and effort. I do it like when they're like insulting and like so proud of the comment that they wrote, and they're talking like very like they're wrong about everything that they say. I do it a lot with like Life is Strange or like The Last of Us, like and it like they get everything wrong about the context of the game, but they're also just like their opinion is the only one that matters in the room, and I'm like, I'm going to make you look like the biggest moron on the internet,
right?
And that's what I like to do because I'm like, I'm about to prove you wrong because not only am I more educated in this game, but you didn't play it at all, and I think it's funny.
Right.
But like, and that's the difference. We use it in a context of games, and I'm like, you want to insult me? You about to catch the fire, babe. Like you about to catch it.
As creators, I feel like you have to curate your space to have. It is not just like having the right people, but like you want the right feedback from people that matters. Even if they disagree with you, at least if they coming at you like a human being, it's like, okay, I'll keep. I'm not looking for a yes man. I'm looking for respectable people. Yes, it's nice to have people that like your content too, but it's like I want respectable people that can give me some actual feedback, give me something that challenges my perspective, help me see something differently that I didn't see before. I welcome that.
Yes.
That's what it should be.
Yeah, like I don't, like you said, like I don't need a yes man. Like, great. That's so nice that like, people want to come and be like, keep up the content, like love your shit. Like that's awesome. Love you people.
Yeah.
But like also don't need it. Like, I super respect people that like, you're talking about a game and they'll be like, hey, like I see your point of view. I looked at it like this and that's why they're not my favorite character. And this isn't my favorite game, but I totally respect like what you're saying. This is just how I viewed it. I'm like, hey, fucking cool. Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Like those are the type of people who be like, not, hey, dumbass, did you even play this game? Clearly you're a fake fan, like, X, Y, and Z, right? Because like, so many people do that. And I know you've gotten comments like on your Resident Evil content like that, and I've got it like, on any of my fucking content. And it's just like when you start minimizing just like who we are as people and you start berating people with insults, I know I'm no longer listening to you.
Yeah.
And they don't even need to be pointed at me because like I very much like care about like the community that like I cultivate, especially with like the Life is Strange shit. Like I want people to feel like safe about like talking about things even if we don't agree. I want them to talk about it. I want to welcome the healthy conversation. If you're gonna start insulting people in my comments, you can get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Like I don't want you anywhere near my shit.
I don't blame you.
Like because that's not cool. Bullying's not cool.
It's not.
Grow up.
And that's like, and that's how I feel about the conversation too about Mixtape because like I hate the fact that the conversation about Mixtape at large is not about what's about the game. It's about the politics and the assumptions of it. And what I was telling my friend today, like what concerns me about the conversation about Mixtape is that we can't just let hate and uninformed and misinformed people control the internet space for us because it makes it hard for people like us to have a unique thing to say. And it is people like us. It is not like, hey, let me go out my way. I don't be a contrarian for the sake of being a contrarian. I'm only a contrarian if I feel like what you're doing is dishonest or it's disrupting the flow of actual conversations that needs a proper balance. That's when you only will see me. Other times I'm not there because like there's some things I don't care about. My thing is, it's just that you say I don't like censorship in video games. I don't like people who censoring people for having a voice or create things authentically and to be told that it's not worth it, that it's not what it needs to be. I don't like the fact that people are attacking a company over a guy's review, and then it went from I don't like this guy's review, I'm gonna attack your game, and then I'm gonna do some investigation to figure out there's some ulterior motives, and it's like, and he's like, oh wait a minute, this person has Mary Ellison. Mary Ellison is a daughter of Larry Ellison, so therefore it's billionaires. And it's like, if y'all claim to be,
ridiculous.
If you guys claim to be real gamers, I hate to say the word, like real enthusiasts, then you understand that a publishing company is the one that that funds the money to developers, whether it's first person, third, whatever it is, so they can help achieve those goals to get there in the first place. That means that the person believes in the developer so much that they wanted to invest their funds into this stuff. And also, too, you got shareholders. And some of these publishers are publicly traded companies, too, which means that they have people that's investing their money into this stuff. And it's a lot more bigger and complex than that. It's not, if by that logic, if you think this game is an industry plant because of that, then every video game that's been ever made is an industry plant. But you can't say that because you can look up who did it. If it was like a secret company or something, and then they say, oh, it's not that, and you find out that who the real backer is and whatnot, then yeah, you can say it's an industry plant. But no, it's out in the open. We know who they are.
What's even crazier is the fact that, like, there could be no publisher, and it could be, like, 2 guys in their basement that made this game. And it's been a labor of love for 10 years, okay? And they just did it on their little computers. People would still hate on it. If IGN gave it a 2 out of 10, people would still hate on it. There would still be, like, it's just... there's always going to be controversy in the gaming space, but I think what really elevated it is, sadly, IGN. Not me, like, hating on IGN, but, like, it's because people are so up in arms about the, the masterpiece, were so controversial over the 10 out of 10. If IGN did not rate it as such, would this game even still be talking about? Because social media moves so fast that literally, like, a building could blow up tomorrow, and then people will not be talking about it in a day.
Right.
Like, that is how fast things move, especially in the gaming space. A new game comes out, hyped about it for 1 to 2 days, you ain't never talking about it again. People forget about it. Bye. Like, and people are still talking about Mixtape because of that review. I mean, there are other, obviously, game journalists that have given it a 10 out of 10, but IGN is the titan in that space. It's the rock star, so to speak. So, like... would we even be fucking talking about it? Probably not. No, this is like a nobody game, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Like nobody was talking about it. I knew about it for years, but that's because I like these types of games.
And it is mainly because IGN is always the catalyst of like when it comes to reviews, everything. It's like because no one says, "Hey, did you see what they said in Game Informer?" Who the fuck? Like no one's going at Game Informer. Hey, did you see what they said in GameSpot? No. I don't know, but it's IGN. Oh, I know IGN. You can't spell ignorance without IGN. Like IGN.
That's good. That's good. I never heard that.
That's been a joke I heard for a long time. Like IGN has always been scrutinized for right reasons and sometimes overblown reasons. Like I think there was one like IGN did a review of one of the Pokemon games, and the guy gave it because IGN used to then back in the day when they did reviews, they'll give you like the pros and cons. They don't do pros and cons no more because people will look at the cons. Like they'll look at the descriptions why there is, and then they won't even go into why that is in the first place. I can't remember what Pokemon game it was, but I think it was
Red and Blue got a 10.
Yeah. But
I don't know about the other ones.
But this one, it was I don't know if it was a 7 out of 10 or 7.5. But one of the cons, it said too much water, and people like.
Oh, the too much water one. Okay, I know.
That one, that will never escape them. I don't know who the guy who reviewed it, but that's the thing that happened. Well,
they just did another one. Mouse PI for hire. Too much cheese.
That one.
It was literally in there.
That was the one that got scrutinized, and that guy who reviewed it, that guy was. I'll admit that guy was being too. I saw that review and I was like, you were expecting a LA Noire thing. And this thing
he went in expecting a completely different thing than what it was. Yeah. And I so badly wanted to like I had talked about it a little bit in one video because I'd played Mouse PI for hire. I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
But then I also realized I was like, maybe I'm not a huge fan of boomer shooters because like I loved it, and then halfway through I was like, this is also like the same shit over and over again.
Right.
And I was like, but that's what the category it is, so it's, that's me. But yeah, I mean like that review, that guy, because I was like, everyone's got to be blowing this up and just saying it's too much cheese. There's not real. Sure, the fuck shit not. That like that review not only said too much cheese, but like you said, he went in like thinking it was gonna be some Casablanca LA Noire, and I was like, where did you get that impression?
Yeah,
And
like,
he was like some kind of fan of huge noir things, and I was like, you hurt yourself.
it was like when the game's like when you're a good guy but you're doing bad things and you're not. I'm like, come on, bro. It's
He's just like, I didn't like how it just wasn't as serious. And I was like, it's not supposed to be. The game is not taking itself seriously, and that was honestly, in my opinion, the best part of the game. Like,
it's like if we're talking about like Mixtape, it's like if that's the reason why people were mad about this at the 10, it's like, okay, I can see why you feel this way if it came from IGN. But again, you have to look at the person who reviewed the game. It's like, critique the guy. Don't critique the outlet. You know, like, I remember certain names. Like, I remember we doing like a lot of deviations, but we're good. But like, a long time ago, 3 years ago, I talked about Resident Evil 4 remake as it was doing really, really good on the internet. And someone left a comment on my page, and I said, yo, it's like, man, would it be cool if Resident Evil 5 get a remake? And I was like, I would love that because I love the fuck out of the original Resident Evil 5. It would have happened. I made a video and I said that if they do it, I will be fearful, not because how the current state of the internet is. I'm fearful if they were to remake it, not because I want them to remake it. I'm fearful because conversations can go different. And because that game took place in Africa, and I remember the controversy that happened around that time, alleged that, you know, a white man going to Africa shooting black infected, and the false narratives people made, they're saying, oh, they put Sheva in because she was black. They wanted to compensate so that it wouldn't be less. And it's like, no, she was already in the game. I could read the articles. I showed my proof and everything that I know what I was talking about. I backed it up. I'm just making people aware that there's going to be some people out there that's going to use racism as a way to tear this game down. I'm just informing people to what to expect. And sure the fuck, the days after, I'll never forget, that video blew up on TikTok. I had multiple people reached out to me. Someone was calling me woke and everything. And I'm just trying to help you. I'm not saying I don't want it. I'm trying to fucking help y'all. Then the other day, I see an article from The Gamer, and it was from the person named Jay King. And I don't know if they saw my video or whatever, because this conversation would have never been brought up. And I'm not trying to take credit for it. And they're saying, maybe we shouldn't make this game. I'm like, who the hell is Jay King? I looked them up. It was I think a BLM ally, as they claim. They're trans or whatever. Not that it mattered, but it was just one of those things where it's just like, don't be an ally for me in this situation when I never been through it or whatever. If this is the game about a fictional place in Africa, it had nothing to do with us. We're talking about the themes of offensive. And we're not
that's the problem.
Yeah.
Like, that's the problem. People always say, like, it's like, it's woke because, like, okay, like, we have a black person in our game. It's woke because, like, we have a person of the LGBT. And it's like, it's just existing. That's it. Like, and it's not that serious.
And then that happened. Then I have other creators. I wanted to mention this guy's name, but I'm not going to, though. But it's like, I can tell that they never played this game at all. And I look at their Steam account, and I'm like, you don't even play the game to the end. You're just yapping. And that's the problem on the internet too. Is like, we have people who come into space who don't consume things, and they yapping. They have their pages, they have these things, and then they'll attack games like that I mentioned, and then they'll attack the games like Mixtape that we're talking about, and they're just making hate campaigns to constantly tear this game down. And they don't make one video, they'll make 3 videos. They'll make more of it.
It's disgusting that, like, those types of people, like, garner a following. Like,
yes,
like the people that make the rage bait comment, the Asmongold's, like, they are garnering money and followers. And then, like, it pisses me off to no end. And it's like, this is the reason, I mean, not them solely, but, like, this is a large contributor to why the internet is such a toxic space, especially in the gaming space. But then, like, people like you, or like so many other amazing gaming content creators out there, like, they have less than 100,000 followers. Well, you don't have less than 100, but, like, like less than 100,000 followers, but, like, all this and that. And it's like, they're talking about genuine conversations, and people are just not seeing it because the internet loves to see people yell. They love to see people talk about stupid fucking shit.
Yeah.
Anytime I make a Last of Us video, especially if it's about The Last of Us 2, that shit blows up like wildfire because people love the fucking controversy. Then if I sit here and talk about, like, just something that I love, it'll probably get like 50 likes. Like, and that's what it is. It's so fucking sad. Like, that nobody actually wants to have a fucking conversation.
No. And you get tired of walking on eggshells. You get tired of walking on eggshells because, like, I haven't talked about The Last of Us in a minute. And you're right. Every time I talk about it, I feel like I gotta defend myself every damn day. Or any
fighting for your life.
Fighting for your life. You're just saying that. you just saying Ellie is a great character. Well, let me tell you why she's not. Let me tell you 10 reasons why she's not a good character. Because one is because she a lesbian. I'm like, she's ripped.
I mean, I just made a video about that, but yeah, was a comment that was left on a video. Like, cause like I made a comment from a previous video that this guy was like, the reason why Ellie is gay is because people didn't want you to assume that her and Joel are gonna be in a relationship. And I was like, I was looking around my house. I live alone, and I was like, who the fuck are you talking to? Like, sir, are you okay? Are you okay on this planet Earth?
That is some very concerning comment right there from the jump. That's weirdo. And
right. Like, and that video blew up. It blew up. But like, it's just like, it's so stupid. Like, and I've even had people like say on other videos, like whether it's Last of Us or not, people be like, well, you only make videos about like games that have like LGBT content. And I was like, is this your first day? No, it's not. And I was like, do I consume more content like that? Sure, but I don't always talk about it. There are like tens of thousands of games that I've talked about. Well, tens of hundreds probably, but like tens of thousands of games that I played without that fucking shit. That's like saying that like you only play games with black people in it.
Right.
So you'd be playing like less than 100 games.
I do play some games with black characters.
No, but like I'd even gotten a comment. Right. I think I sent it to you. Like it was like this guy was like, "Oh, I can think of a game that like has at least 10 black protagonists." I'm like, "Where?
I can't tell you off the top of my head.
Like if you're talking about side characters, sure. If you're talking about a main character, no. You're lying.
I'll get back to you in the fax machine's worth of time because that's a lot of time to think about that because I can't tell you. It's shoot. It's too many. It's like, do we include? Are we including basketball players and athletes? Because if that's
right. Like
I mean, rappers too. Because like we take away that, the list is very short. It's very, very short.
Right. People always say like the two mains like they say Miles Morales and Lee Everett. Like those are the two that I feel like people like to like swim around. But even to what you're saying about like Resident Evil 5, which is the first one I ever played, and I fucking loved it. Yeah. And I really hope that they do a remake with modern controls, because God, that standing still and shooting, that's the only reason I won't revisit it.
Yeah.
But it's so
understandable.
Bad.
Yeah.
But like if you even look at the fucking cover, Shiva is white passing on there. Okay? Mm-hmm. Like they're not trying to push anything on you. If anything, they're trying to like make it really nice for you. Like, right. I even said to you the one time, I was like, I just found out that Jill is half Asian, but why does she look like a white lady? Like, and I'm like, was that part of her lore that was just like thrown away? And it's probably because, which is funny, because ironically, Capcom is a Japanese company, correct?
Yeah.
Like, so it's funny that like they don't have like a lot of that in there, except for like Ada.
Yeah.
But like, they're trying to hold your hand with this, because like they're not trying to push any of these like things.
They
all their characters are predominantly white.
Yeah, like they changed a lot of stuff. Like I think Hunnigan she could have been racially ambiguous in the original 4 game, but then in the remake, she's clearly a black woman. And I know those curls anywhere. I'm just putting it out there. There's some curls in there, and I saw what they did. It was very subtle. No one complained about it. Okay, we moved on. But like, but that's just the issue is it's just that we got a lot of rage bait content on video games, and sometimes I wish it would just stop. But like, I think this really started with COVID happened. Like, I think that the reason why we have a lot of negative discourse online about games. I mean, you could say it was back when the Gamergate days happened too, even with like that era, which I don't even want to get into, or like when Anita Sarkeesian made a video about women and tropes in video games, and people hated her for that, and that was like a long time ago. That was people hated her on that. But I think like it really took floor for me. It was 2020 during the pandemic when Last of Us Part 2 happened. That's when I was telling people like when that game came out, that game got scrutinized for a leak about a beloved character, Joel, getting killed by Abby, and people were saying that she was a big bralette trans woman who killed this dude, and Neil Druckmann.
People still say that to this day, by the way. And I was like, tell me you haven't played it. Holy shit.
And because of stuff like that, it's like people will look at this game. I'm glad I'm circling back in a good way, but like people will look at this game like Mixtape, and you look at the character Stacy Rockford, and she's like wearing her headset, or like moments where she's wearing a backwards cap, and you're like, oh, they're forcing the agenda. They're trying to make her the center, because let's be real, in games like this, in games like this, they're really wearing chicks. I'm like, you can Google 1990s tomboy girls and whatnot, and you will see women like what you right now wearing a snapback backwards and whatnot, alternative. That is literally there were alternative people in the 90s. Some of them were wearing like
they existed.
Yeah.
Like,
you have like women wearing like loose fit, and they would sit like in chairs like this, like some like the way guys would sit. They would sit like
I sit like that.
Yeah, it's like real real relaxed with what like slouching like
yeah.
you will see that, and it's like there were a thing, and it's like a lot of us were like 90s kids. Some of us weren't 90s teenagers though, so it was like, you know, the styles were different,
Right.
clothes was different, vibes was different, the way we talk was very different. It was like that was hip, or that was so, you know, there was it was like it was a time that we're just observing from the outside in, and it's just like I don't think that was forced, you know.
Like I had seen so many fucking videos. I'm sorry, not so many. I'd seen this one main video. It was very fucking viral. I saved it. I'm gonna respond to it. This guy kept saying over and over in Mixtape that it is pushing an agenda, but he did not say anywhere in the video what agenda it was pushing.
They said
and
that too,
everyone in the and everyone in the comments were like, yeah, like it's just pushing an agenda. And I was like, is everyone a bot here? Like, am I being punked? Like, am I hallucinating this? What agenda are we pushing? Because nobody could give an answer. I was looking at all the responses, like, and nobody was replying. Anytime people were asking, like, where? And I'm like, where? Are we talking about, like, punk rock? Are we like, pushing the agenda of, like, metal life? Like, what are we doing? Because, like, seriously, what?
They always do that. It's push. What's the agenda? What's the agenda?
You just want to regurgitate the same shit over and over
I'm talking to you. What do you want? What's the agenda?
Tell us.
And there's clearly the agenda. Well, tell me. What? You don't see it? And then they do this. Wait. Don't tell me that you can't see it. You're the one that said that shit. How the fuck am I supposed to? What agenda are they pushing?
Right?
You're the one that said that dumb shit.
Like, how can you not see it? Did you even play the game? And I'm like, where is it?
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing.
Then they wonder why they get blocked.
Yeah, right. Like, you know, you could, at least from my POV, like, you know, I could see that, like, you know, maybe there could have been, like, some underlying feelings with, like, Stacy and Cassandra. But that's written in subtext. Like, you know, it's not something that is, like, no fucking sexualities were said. They were talking about guys throughout the whole fucking game.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Cassandra had said she's been with different guys. Like, Stacy talked about it. So, like, nothing was being pushed. I could definitely see, like, you know, just at least with subtext, like, you know, maybe some, like, unrequited love or maybe whatever. But that is my interpretation.
Right.
So, again, that's not a fucking agenda. I did see one comment of saying, like, they were pushing, like, the feminist movement. And I was like, okay, I don't see how that was being pushed because, like, it wasn't, like, women rockers everywhere, and it wasn't, like, you know, woman power and shit like that. I've played games like that, and I've seen media like that, but this is not it, like, at all. So, like, again, like, I just don't, it's just another way of, like, hating on something when you don't have a valid reason.
Right.
Like, because where is the agenda being pushed?
Right.
I
didn't see it at all. Like, I really thought, like, the characters was, like, well written and whatnot. I can't think of any flaw or whatever. And it's like, I think maybe I probably like re-examine Van Slater a bit more because like, I don't remember much that was noteworthy about him, but I do remember that he was very creative and like, you know, and the fact that he did share his deep music for like you know, Stacy, and he was like, you know, he's into that synth stuff, and I'm like, okay, that was pretty cool. And I like the fact that, you know, he was a genuine cool friend looking out, and the thing I liked about it was that all three of them were like honorable people, even though they do some crazy dumb shit, you know, that, you know, cause some of my friends like, yeah, like, I think one of my friends like, yeah, you know, the adults are the antagonists. I'm like, yeah, it's framed that way, but we gotta be honest. I mean, they were TP in somebody's houses though, and whatnot, cause you would get your, cause like I wouldn't see nobody P's house. My parents whooped my ass though, but I can see how that could be fun for someone else though and whatnot. But like,
see, I'm different. Like, I grew up a rebellious teen. I did all that shit. Like, I was like, screw the man. I don't care about authority. I'm just gonna do whatever I want. My mom would tell me I'm grounded. I'd be like, I don't care. I'm leaving anyway. You can't do anything.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, don't go outside, Lauren. And I'd be like,
right.
Like, see? Literally, I would be doing that.
Yeah.
And like, she'll tell you, I was like the worst teenager ever. I mean, like, I just didn't care.
Yeah.
I'd get into fights with people. I'd just do whatever because I just didn't care.
Yeah.
I still don't care.
I was like
you know, it's just...
I was like a different kind of rebellious. When I was like, you don't do this, and I would do the complete opposite. I just wouldn't tell nobody about it. I was like, I do it in secret. I was very secretive about how I did my stuff though. Like, I was like, don't you do this stuff, and then I would do it differently anyway. Don't you mess with this, and I'll do something very differently. I was like, you would never know. I will take it to the
No.
grave. But like that's why
No.
like Cassandra's character, she resonated with me in the rebellious sense, and then Stacy resonated with me in more of the creative sense and like following your
Mhm.
dreams and whatnot. And then like Slater, like I like that he was just like the neutral, like the how can I put it?
Almost like the voice of
The
reason,
voice
like
of
between
reason.
both of
Like yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
like he never judged them, and he was just like he was never like pursuing them or anything or whatever. I mean, there could be something a little that he made a
He's just
character.
trying to catch a vibe, man. Like,
Yeah,
he's just there. Like, he's
like
chilling.
it's just that even if, like I like the fact that the game was really about being in the moment, and that's what it was. Like a lot of the moment, because I get the music in there, because like there was a lot of songs, a lot of rock music that I wasn't aware about. Like I know probably like the Smashing Pumpkins and whatnot. I like the fact that within the game, every track played into like a pivotal moment. Because I was talking to my friend the other day, I was like, I forget that there's people out there that when they listen to a song, it can put them back into time. And I thought that was like limited to some people, but then it happened to me, and I'm like, yeah, I forget that some songs that are very powerful can put you back in a moment where you remember how you felt, or it can
It
remind
happens
you.
for me.
Yeah,
So yeah.
and it's like I like that the songs played a weight into it, and for like the mini games and all the other stuff.
Right, like, these songs, like the one, like, where they were, like, kind of, like, flying almost, and it was, like, this song, like, music can literally do that. It can make you feel like you're floating. It could make you feel black and white, like you just don't feel like anything, and
Yeah.
that's why I loved it. It was just a great vibe. It was great expression, and, like, I even said it in my review, and I was like, the perfect way I can explain this game is that it's feel good.
Yeah.
Like, it just made me feel great. Like, it was just, like, and just the way that it explained music, that every time I listen to this song, I think about this memory with a friend, and I do that in life. Like, when I'm listening to Spotify and, like, my DJ's going, and, like, I'll, like, listen to a song, and I'll be like, holy shit, I haven't heard this since, like, since I was in high school, and it makes me think of when I was with my friends and I heard this song for the first time, or, this song was playing when I was with so-and-so, or, like, it was just a great expression. Like, it's just a vibe.
And then, like, if people actually played the game, like, you will appreciate the pacing, because, like, each segment never overstays its welcome, and everything was organized, like, chapters was organized into tracks, which
into a perfectly cohesive story, also.
Yeah, because, like, when you think about it, it's like the game, the way it was structured, it was designed like an album. Like, you can look at it, it was literally like a 3.5 hour album.
Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah, look at that. It's literally like it was literally framed as an album, and I'm like, this was like I see why it was made a 10 out of 10, because it was structured with intent, and it was well thought, and it was very creative. That's the whole point of creativity. It's not really about how many buttons you push or skill. It's about the intent and what it was made for in the first place. And some of the best games,
and it respects your time too.
It does.
Like you said, with intent. Like, it's just like, hey, like, we're just in this little segment just for a couple minutes, and then that's it. And it proves to the story, to the conversation that they're having, or how we're progressing the day. Yeah. And it's perfect. I mean, when people told me that it was 30 chapters, and I was like, damn, this game's long. And I was like, oh. And I was like, no, they're doing it this way. And I was like, that's so cool.
You said something in one of your short videos that I thought about when I was playing. Because you said the one thing you liked about it was that when these people, like, the parts when you're in the room, when you're having conversations with these people, you said something like you like the fact that when people are talking and they would like automatically look and see what the person's talking to.
Yes.
And then you don't have, because most time you have to turn the camera around, and like the character does it, and it felt like there was it's like a little attention to detail.
It's the little details, like, because every game, not every game, I don't want but a lot of games, like, when someone's talking to you, they'll almost, like, blur the background, it'll just be deadpanned on their face. Even if somebody else is talking, we're not looking at that, but when this is happening, it's a real-time conversation. Like, Slater, like, you're talking to Cassandra, then Slater will be like, yeah, I remember that. They'll both look, and they have different expressions, and I'm like, that is so nice right there. It's not something I need in a game, but it really makes it feel like you are in this experience. You're actually living it with them. It is realistic.
Yeah.
It is lifelike. And it doesn't feel tailored like how it was already scripted. It feels like they're actually having a conversation.
Yeah.
And someone had said in my stream when I was playing it, they were like, I love how you notice the little details with games and you just stop and look. And I was like, because if I pay my money to play something, or if I spend my time playing something, I want to see everything that they put into this game.
Yeah.
And that goes outside of Mixtape. Every time I'm playing a game, I'll stop and take in the environment and kind of look at it for a minute. I'll be like, someone took time to do this. This looks nice.
And I think that's why I think like this game was made, because I want to put a label into it, but it's like I do feel like for games like this, you have to be somewhat emotionally mature to like give it a try. Because if you're someone that's like expecting, like I had one guy send me like, would you recommend this game for me? Like I want to spend $20 on a game that's gonna, I'm gonna have a lot of replay value or something. And I'm like, if you're playing games based off of replay value and you want,
then
like,
no.
and I would say don't do it. I said I would recommend you borrowing it from a friend, or if it becomes free in Game Pass or PS Plus, play it that way so that you don't feel like you feel got, like you feel like you've been like taking, because it's like, because I don't want to sell you something and that's not worth your purchase or your time. It's just like, if you want something that leads to your expectations, then do it that way. And
that's what I say to people too. Like, people ask me, they'll be like, hey, is this game worth my money? And I'm like, well, I can't tell you how to spend your money, and I don't want you to base it off of my opinion alone, because you could hate it and I could love it. But hey, if you like games, and I'll list like a couple of games and I'll be like this and this type of gameplay or non-gameplay, if you are interested in that, play this.
Yeah.
If you're on the fence, wait.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, that's the best thing you can do, because it's just like, because like at large, I have to respect the fact that yes, it is a 3.5 hour game, and you probably may play it one time and feel satisfied. You may go back to it if you want to do the trophies or whatnot. It's just this is literally for like the vibe, passage of times, and things like that. You just have to,
You just want to turn your brain off and experience something.
Yeah.
Play it.
Play
That's all you got to do. It is $20, guys.
$20.
It's $20.
It's $20.
Like, holy shit.
In
this day and age.
And it's like this game was. It was fun. It's not about whether or not this game is skillful. It's about being in the moment. Every segment was about being in the moment. When you're rolling down the hill with the shopping cart, and you can control it if you want to. It was about being in the moment. It's like we're a vehicle in someone else's memories of the things they went through in their life or whatnot. It's like that was the whole intent. Even like the mini games was made with well intent. It's not about the skill. It's about being in the moment. Like when Cassandra told her, when Cassandra's dad told him to get out the room and leave, she's not going to that party. He says, "You go to that party, we're gonna be arresting everybody." And then you was going down the hill and you was doing like "fuck yous" and making things explode and whatnot.
Right.
Like it was like it was like the track that played with it. It was like I liked it because it was just evoked an emotion of like short burst rage in that moment, and it was
you're supposed to feel it with them.
Yeah, and so it's just like so when you're playing, it was like info like, yeah, I want to blow some shit up too. Blow up this car, blow up this. Fuck you, fuck this, fuck everything. Like I understood that feeling because for those 3.5 hours, you weren't being your adult self. You were becoming the version of you used to be. And you're like, oh. And then if like when Cassandra's dad came in and told him no, and it made you go no, and you're like that was your child self speaking. That was like the right intent, and that pacing worked up for that moment.
Right.
And it's just like I think people are being a little bit too hard because it's just like you've been an adult for so long in your life, you forgot what it was like to be a kid. And and I'll say this like after playing, I'll say I will give Life is Strange a try, because like at least it may be not be.
I don't know if you'll like it, but
I don't know. You never know. But I'll be more. I'll say this: it makes me more open to try. My thing is, I've always said keep an open mind for it though. And it's like, if I like it, I'll talk about it. If I don't like it, then I'm not going to bitch about it, because it's just, I don't like, I'm not the kind of person, if I find a game and I play it and I don't like it, I don't feel the need to make a content bitching about it, because sometimes there's some things where your voice don't need to be there. And unless somebody else enjoys something that likes it, I've always been mindful that way.
Yeah. Well, and like people like also try to like shove things down your throat too, of like, oh, hey, like I tried this game and it's not for me, and that's just what it is. Yeah. And then people will just be like, oh, well, like you didn't give it enough of your time, or like this or that. And I'm like, let me just preface this by saying that I'm not one of those weirdos out there that people will be like, I'm going to give a game 30 minutes, and if it doesn't hook me, then I'm gone. And I'm like, well, I'm going to give it more than that, especially if I spend money on it. Me personally, I give a game between 3 and 6 hours of my time.
Right.
And depending on what it is, if I am not in it by the 6-hour mark, I'm going to leave. I'm going to probably uninstall it. And that's what it is, because I could just, if I'm not hooked by then, because then it's not for me. And I hate when people, I hate it. Like when people like, they can't even get out of the damn prologue. And I'm like, if you're not even out of the tutorial, you have no business speaking here, in my opinion. Because you didn't even see this game. You don't even know what it is.
Oh, people skip, or they skip the cutscene. They're like, Where am I
Don't
supposed to
even
go?
get me started.
What do I?
Right, like I don't understand the story. I've literally had people be like, "This story is bad," but like I skip cutscenes. I was like, "You don't even know what it's about."
Like,
What?
where am I supposed to go? This doesn't make no sense. What? I'm like,
But-
our time ain't your time. Like some of us are working full-time jobs and our time, even making we're content creators too. Our time is very, very limited based on depending on how we make content.
And we work for ourselves. We don't pay editors and shit.
Right.
Like just to put that out for you guys,
Yeah.
that takes many hours. They'll
Yeah.
be like, "Where are these videos?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I have to film, sometimes script, get the B-roll, get
Yeah.
all of this. I still gotta edit it. Okay, it takes many fucking hours of my life.
Yeah.
Like many, and I'm not mad about it.
Right.
It's just like it takes a long fucking time.
It's an investment too. I got to be in the right mood. You know the craziest thing I did? One time I came up work, and I was so excited to create a video because I worked a long and hot day or whatever. I took a cold shower. Just so that I'd be energized. So I'm like, oh my God. And just so I can be like, all right, I'm ready to do this shit.
The lengths we go.
Yeah, this shit, the commitments of trying to, it's
like, it's our free time. And then, like, if we don't like it, oh, well, if you love it, I'm happy for you. That's it. Like, that's all it takes. And, like you said, like, these are big commitment games. And that's coming from a lover of open world games. Like,
right.
I've like, 700 plus hours in Cyberpunk 2077. I have 500 plus on Red Dead 2. And I said, like, I got 250, 300 in Fallout 4. Okay, like, I'd be here. Okay, right. But like, I have to love it. I have to want to be there. Yeah. Right? Like,
And I love the Red Dead and GTA. Like the GTA is one of my favorite open world games of all time. I don't get to talk about it as often. Yeah. And it's like, I don't play it just to do things. I play it just to get lost in it. Sometimes I do dumb shit that has nothing to do with the main story, but I just love it because it's fun to do.
Right, you just want to turn your brain off and be there. And that's what gaming is about. I want to enjoy myself. I'm not going to sit here and force myself to play something if I don't want to. Yeah. And it's the same people, I'm going to say it to the same people who are talking shit about Mixtape. If you don't like these types of games, okay, then don't force yourself to play it.
Please don't.
But don't listen to the fucking haters. Don't listen to any IGN, anybody. Don't listen to anybody because nobody can tell you how to have fun. Right. Nobody should tell you how to fucking spend your hard-earned money either. If you watch a trailer and you read a little summary, and you're like, hey, that kind of looks interesting, buy it. Yeah. If you're unsure, wait for a fucking sale, because games go on sale 24/7 all the time. And they get added to, like you said, Game Pass, PlayStation Plus. They do it all the time, within the same year sometimes. I mean, I was going to buy WWE 2K25 last year, and then they added it to PS Plus less than a year later. And I was like, thank fuck I didn't spend $70. Right. Like, I'm a big wrestling fan in secret, but I don't talk about it in content.
I am too. I don't get to talk about it in the content. Yeah, I be watching WWE faithfully every week.
Yeah, right. But like, it's not our demographic, right? It's not the content we put out there. No. But like, so that's what I don't understand. Like, I had seen so many people even say, what was it? What game was it about? It wasn't Expedition 33. It was something big that came out like last year. And I had made a video about it again. And people were like, hey, like now that it's died down. Oh, it was a Life is Strange game. Of course it was. Okay. But they were like, hey, now that like the hate has died down, like, do you think I should buy this? And I was like, I can't tell you how to spend your money. Right. But I mean, like, if it looks like something you like, go pick it up. And they're like, well, I'm nervous because like a lot of people had said that it's bad. And I was like, get that out of there. Get it out of there. Like, don't listen to anybody. Don't even listen to me, for fuck's sake. Just take your own advice. Yeah. And just say, if it's for me, buy it. And, like you say, like, you work full-time job. Like, I work a mostly full-time job, but I work from home. But, like, people even ask me, like, Lauren, why aren't you playing this new game? Why aren't you playing this new game? Money. You buying it, baby? Like, because
Money don't fly in trees, man. Don't.
No, like, I live alone. Like, I'm grown ass lady. Like, I pay my own bills, okay? Like, buy my own groceries, which groceries ain't cheap no more, okay? Like, bread be costing $6, okay? Like, so when a game comes out and it's $80, I have to think about it in my head. Is this from a franchise I love? Does it look like something that I am just gonna absolutely probably love? If it is, yeah, like Intergalactic, The Heretic Prophet, that's a day one buy for me because I'm a Naughty Dog fan. Right. And they tell good stories, and that I'm a sci-fi lover. I'm there. Yeah. $80, take it. I don't care. But like something like Pragmata, that looked good to me, but I was like, even it wasn't $80, it was $50. But I was like, I was a little on the fence about the gameplay, so I was like, I'm gonna wait for a sale. Capcom games go on sale all the time. I could probably pick it up for $30. So I'll just wait. And, like, people don't understand. They're like, oh, content creators make money. And I'm like, who?
No, they don't.
And I'm like, you mean the ones with the millions of followers? Yeah, of course they do. Like, Because they can pay the editors, they can pay like all of this shit. Like, the people that like, even like you and I, for example, we have different sized followers.
Yeah.
But like, I bet we probably get paid around the same fucking money, especially now that TikTok in America doesn't pay us anything anymore.
Sometimes like you like the follower number don't really mean shit anyways. That people make it out to be. It really doesn't, because like you can have less subscribers or what. You can have less things or whatever than I do, and you can get reached out by someone based on the values of your content. Like if you you talk about like the Life is Strange, you get hit up by Square Enix and whatnot. I get to talk about like
twice.
See, I get to talk about like Resident Evil or something, and then a few times a day, hey Calco, you want to join this secret? Wait, what? What? I feel honored. I've always been, and it's like I've always been a
secret club,
and it's like I've always been a Capcom fan. Like it is not because like I've been a fan of them since I was a kid, but like it's just that. It's just that who you are as a creator and your passion and love for it will get you to places that you never thought you'd be. Like I get a time to talk about Mortal Kombat on my page one time, like the Chaos Reigns thing, and someone from WD hit me up. I was like, I love Mortal Kombat, and it's like your passion will show, like your passion of your content, it will be seen for the right people, and it's like that's what I love about what we do. I like to think that what we do is like when we get to share our opinion on screen or show what we love, that we put in some kind of positivity out there in the world. It may not have to be the biggest form of positivity, but it is something where it's like, hey, no matter what, I may not agree with all your points, whatever, but at least I know when you show up in this space, you're being authentically yourself, and I can always trust and believe that. That's what I want. That's the kind of person I want to see. Someone that's going to keep it real and be themselves and have some kind of underlying of like positivity or truth into it at the end.
100%. Me too. Me too. Those are the type of people I gravitate towards, or at least I want to keep in my circle.
Right.
Let's say that. Yeah, because like you can tell when people are like being disingenuous. Like eventually, maybe not at first, but it'll come eventually. And you're like, no, I don't want to be around that.
Yeah.
Like ever.
There was a lot of mutuals I know on TikTok, and I was like, I have distanced myself from a lot of people. It's not because like I hated them, but it was more like I'm like I see that this is like some people will use hate to climb the mountain and all that. I don't respect that, but at the same time, I'm not going to tell someone how to not do what they got to do, because sometimes people do it for their families and do it for that. I understand it. I don't respect it, but I'm not going to tell you what to do. But it's like, but if I find like you're attacking something to get a come up, I will never respect you. That's just, and I will back away entirely. And I lost a lot of communications with people, and some people switched up on me, and then. I played some part where I did some messed up stuff too, but it's like, it's just that I want to be around the right people and get the right message out there. I always say I'm not here to,
100%.
I'm not here to tell you to change your mind. I'm not saying you got to like Mixtape, but it's just that if we're going to criticize a video game, at least let's criticize the game for the right reasons, as opposed to projections and all this stuff, or these conspiracies and propagandas and all that, because you're making the conversations about a video game more political than it is about a form of artistry, entertainment, and what value should be made as a video game experience. And it's like when we're doing that, we're detracting away from the real intent in the game, and I don't like the direction conversations tend to go online.
Not everything needs to be looked at under a microscope.
Yeah, true.
It's just is what it is. Just like be there for it. Like I had even seen like discourse. It was over I think it was an IGN ranking. I think of like the top 10 best zombie games, and like I think like 2 Resident Evils were on there, and I think Resident Evil 4 was one of them. And people were like, it was hundreds of comments of people arguing, being like, it's not actually zombies, it's like the Las Plagas and like blah 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 blah. And I was like, holy Christ, it's not that deep. Like it is just not that deep.
Well, actually, people.
Yeah, we're at the well, actually.
It's the well.
Actually.
Well, actually.
Yeah, right. Let me push up my glasses.
Oh my God, bro, you buzzkill.
Like I hate it so much. Like why? Not even just like the zombies things, but like it's none of it is that deep.
Right.
It really is not. Just go play the game, experience it. If it's something that you're into. If you don't like those types of games, don't.
Exactly.
They're gonna be doing just fine without you. Okay. It really don't matter.
And this and we're not even going to revisit this conversation for a long time anyway. It's like there's always going to be something new out there, and
there's a new game that comes out every fucking day, every hour. Okay,
yeah.
Like come on, we're in a day and age where there is millions upon millions of games out there.
Yeah.
This is just one
What,
that probably will never be talked about ever again.
you know, one thing I will say too, because like I hope if this thing, you know, mixtape, like I would love it if they ever did another follow up of it. If they did, like I remember I told you about it. If they tapped on different genres or something, I think it would be cool.
That would be so cool.
Yeah, because like there was a moment in that game where when they was away from Cassandra, and they talked about like, you know, Cassandra had a song in her playlist. It was like Montel Jordan. This is how we do it, and I'm sitting there like, please. And it's, yeah, we probably shouldn't play that. I was like, but I was like, maybe that was planting the seed for something in the future. Hopefully, if they do decide to go about that route, because it's like,
it would be cool, but you already know what the reception of that game would be like. If they did more of like a hip hop like genre, it's gonna be woke. You know, don't you know?
But I'll promise you, black people will show up. Everybody will show the hell up and support it in like they will show up because. And the outrage for it would be less outrage. It was like y'all don't even know the culture, and people would show up, and then that could happen. We can have like EDM be a thing because like Daft Punk was popular in the '90s, and you have like the harder metal stuff. Because I was listening to like the harder metal and like the '90s stuff like Korn and fucked up shit. But
I fucking love Korn.
Yeah,
I love Korn.
It was fucked up, more fucked up music, but it was good. But it was good music though. But you can tap into different aspects of just music in there. And it's like, I think what's so great was like music always bring us together, and that was like one of the core things about it. Or it brings it together, or it brings back a memory that we used to that brought us back in that first place. And it's like, if they can do that, I'm like, they could have a cool, you know, franchise in their head. I mean, you know, but it's all what you know, it's all what the creative person wants to do with at the end of the day. But it's just like, I like that the game brought us here in the first place, because it was just music is just great, and I think people should give it a try. You know, at least one time, especially if you're. I know people say, "Oh man, this game is for the millennial." Man, it's for anybody really. If you love, yeah, just give it a try. It's almost like give it a try.
I mean, like even you could even say that like, what's the generation before millennials? Is it Gen X?
Gen X, yeah, before us. It was Gen X before us. And then baby boomers. You can almost
say that it's more towards them.
Yeah.
Like just because of the music. Like I'm a millennial, you're a millennial, but like, now obviously like I listen. Well, not obviously, but like, you know, like I listen to like hard rock, alternative, like indie, metal, like all that shit. And some of that was in the genre, but it's also not the time period of what I listened to.
Right.
Like, you know, like, so did I know some of the songs? Yeah. Do I ever listen to those songs? No.
Right.
Like Devo, I think like was the first song. Like, yeah, That's Good by Devo. Like, you know, I think that's like an 80s jam. Okay. I was born in the 90s. Like, you know, there's so many. The Cure. Okay. I listen to The Cure, but like the Plain song, don't listen to that. Like, there's a lot of fucking shit on here that like, you know, I've either never heard of, or it's like it's before me.
Right.
And so I would say it's almost even more for Gen X.
No,
then.
Because once I just remember Smashing Pumpkins, I'm like, oh, I know Smashing. That's like the one thing that came in my head. Cause
I do love Smashing Pumpkins. Yeah, Love by Smashing Pumpkins. Right there.
That's the one thing I remember. I was like, I'm like, I never heard this stuff. I was like, I heard some. I'm more like I know songs, but I don't know names of them though. But I do know I hear them before, and you know, and I think the last thing too, because like I think another thing people were more pissed off about is that they couldn't stream this game because there was no streamer mode. But then again, I'm glad there was no streamer mode because it would take away from the impact of it.
Dude, like okay, I'm a content creator first, but like I do stream games, but like I don't do it as heavily as a lot of other streamers. What I do when I stream, I do like first time playthroughs.
Yeah.
And so like, you know, because like I do have a good community in my streaming that like a lot of people want to see those games.
Yeah.
And like me speaking as like a streamer, like who gives a fuck? Okay, because like what? Why are you pissed that there's no streamer mode? Is it because you want that shit to be monetized? Is that what it is? Do you care about the money? Because guess what? I streamed it on YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch, and the video on YouTube that I have on there, it's not monetized. But it could be monetized if I chop out every single section of that fucking music. Is that why you care about the streamer mode? Because who gives a fuck?
You better bite the bullet.
Right. Then it wouldn't even be a game. It wouldn't even be a game at that point because this whole game is about music. And like, if there's a very good reason why there's no streamer mode, because this game is around these songs. Like, I'm guessing that they picked the songs and then they created the game, if I had to guess, or like something like that. You know what I mean? Like they picked
turn a whole day into a damn album. like with intent.
Right.
It was structured like an album.
with intent.
Or like a
Like,
mixtape. No pun intended.
Literally. But like, you know, they made sure to perfectly pick the songs for each moment to portray what they're feeling.
Yeah.
So it makes sense why there's no streamer mode. Now, if it's like something like a AAA game, okay, then yeah, sure. I guess like if GTA 6 comes out and like obviously we know that radio station is fucking banging, you know, we got to turn it off so we don't hear gin and juice. But like, you know, so it's not, that's different. But this game, it's built around the music. If there is no music, there is no game.
There is
okay?
no.
Like
that's the core drive.
What are we just gonna be? Right? Like, are we just gonna be listening to elevator music the whole time? No.
No.
Because you're not gonna get the full experience of this game.
Yeah, and then you would, it'll be an 8 out of 10. You'd be like, the music sucks. You know,
it'd probably be a 6 out of 10.
Probably
too much cheese.
Yeah,
but...
too much blandness, too much talking, not enough moving. It's like, yeah, and it's like, I think
hate the 90s. 5 out of 10.
Yeah,
worst time period. Like,
I think probably like the core takeaway about this game is just that. I guess my final thing I would say is that don't lose the inner child. That's what I was saying. There was like a core takeaway I have from Mixtape is that don't lose your inner child and be open to new things. That's what I would say.
Just experience games. Don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Just play them and just have fun. Let the vibe happen.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you got to do.
You gotta do.
To have fun.
And
it's not that hard.
Before we wrap, I will definitely, we'll put all like the contact informations and everything in the descriptions and all that, so that you can be able to find us, look us up, and see what other content that we make, and then we go move on to other things. I guess is there anything you want to say before we wrap up?
No, I mean, the only thing I would just say is like if you're not really a fan of the narrative short story type of games, you might pleasantly be surprised. Not even just by this game, but by any of other games out there. Maybe branch out of what you normally play, and you could end up finding something you really love. You just never know until you try. And this is a perfect game to do it because it's not going to waste your time. Like Josh said, it's very intentional.
Yeah.
And it's not expensive, and it's just something to put on real quick, maybe after work.
Hey, you know what's funny?
Give it a try.
How much do albums cost?
God, I don't know anymore.
Probably it's like I think around 20 or something.
It's more expensive to go to the movies than play this game.
Yes.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Think about that.
That's true because they do cost,
without popcorn.
Yeah.
Without the drink.
Yeah. Someone's like, well, someone else, I know some smart is going to be like, well, actually, I don't pay for albums. I go stream it.
Well, actually.
Well, give a fuck. Like, who gives a fuck, man? Still, you got a video game for an album price. Go and it's quality. It's going to be you bought a Grammy Award winning game.
A fucking HBO subscription, a Hulu subscription is more expensive than this game.
Damn.
Just put that out there.
Put it out there.
Like, you know, without ads. Without ads. But
right.
Yeah. I mean, just put that out there, guys. Like, you know, sometimes you can't even, you know, get a meal at a restaurant sometimes for $20.
Oh my god.
You know.
Speaking
with the tip, tip and everything.
Shit's expensive, man.
I'm just saying.
Well, I'll say this. My name is Josh Statics. This is Captain Loren, and we are out of here.